Hey, there we
I
are.
have to click a button.
Well, hi guys. Welcome to the Infernal Brotherhood, Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is in
NPR
fact,
edition.
yes, yes,
Well, hi
this is
guys.
the NPR edition of the Infernal Brotherhood, the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is in fact a live streaming video podcast by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans. And today we're going to continue our episodic review of Star Wars
So
Skeleton
excited,
Crew.
can't wait.
With this episode, Season 1, Episode 8, The Real Good
It
Guys.
was really good guys in this. I'm so excited about
Fucking
this good guys.
Christ, this was okay, I don't want to say it's the biggest letdown, because to say it's the biggest letdown would assume that I actually thought this was going to be good. But full transparency, I had to watch this twice. And this is the only episode I've watched twice of this season, because frankly, I don't want to fucking do it. I watched it twice because I'm like, fuck it, whatever. It's the last episode. I'm going to get incredibly baked and it's going to make it good. Instead, I thought I like passed out a couple of times because I'm like, fuck, I had to have missed something. And then I watched it again and realized, nope, I was awake the whole fucking time. There was no story to this.
Yeah, it was the Wizard of Oz meets Zero Consequence. Is what it was.
Pretty fucking much.
Ridiculous.
No one dies. A lot of cars get destroyed. No one dies.
Someone hates cars.
Yeah.
They're like, carbon footprint, fuck you.
Yeah, we'll show them by destroying it.
Yeah. Definitely no consequences to molten to metals evaporating into the soil or anything. It's definitely not a problem. My initial thoughts of this was I expected. Like, this is exactly what I expected it to be. It's not. It's just not a show for me.
No.
Arguably, this is not a show for thinking humans.
100%.
But yeah, for anyone who did not grow up in the era that I grew up in, you're probably surprised at this exciting storytelling. But if you just went to a Blockbuster, you would find so much better.
Yeah,
100%. So much better. And this is a blatant, not even attempting to hide it, ripoff of so many other better shows that for the fucking ignorant, they're just like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. This was the Stranger Things episode.
Yeah.
Which in and of itself is a ripoff of the Amblin era.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like if you've never had like frozen custard in your life and you've only had like shaved ice. And then you finally had frozen custard, you were like, what have I been missing in my life? This creamy deliciousness. This is amazing. Except that we've all had it already. So you're not fooling us. Like, this is shaved ice. We're not fucking falling for that trick.
Yeah.
Ass. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. I'm so supremely glad this shit show that no one has fucking watched according to their own ratings is finally fucking over. And agreed. I hope that they learn from their shit fucking mistake of trying to take movies and making them into series, which I know they haven't because it's fucking Disney and they don't learn fuck all. But, on the off chance we live in a weird, like, bizarro world, maybe they learn their lesson. And, in the future we'll get great Star Wars properties.
Right. Well, it's just, it's so frustrating because just like all of their shows, there's going to be zero consequences to this.
Yeah.
Because this was basically the final nail in the coffin of Kathleen Kennedy's career. Like, if this failed, she was gone.
Yeah.
Disney starts anew. Or, Star Wars starts anew.
I just don't see that happening.
Neither do I. Just like every single fucking thing that has come out since the Book of Boba Fett, with the exception of Andor. No consequences.
Yeah. Just
content that's meant to be just disposable.
Yeah. Flashing lights. Enjoy.
Yeah. That's a thing. Like, for those of those, holy fuck, for those of you that don't partake in the devil's lettuce, the electric cabbage, if you will.
Electric cabbage?
Yes.
That's the thing?
Oh, that's what all the cool kids are saying these days. So the thing is, you become very easily entertained. It does not take a lot to be like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. I know.
I know.
Nothing about this has been enjoyable. The best part about this
Hilarious.
was knowing that it was over. And quite frankly, even the end credit scene for this was better than the entire series.
Wait, what was the end credit scene?
Oh, it was basically a Jedi book on a fucking little mini TV or something.
What?
Yeah, so it basically, like, as soon as it cuts to black,
Yeah.
there's this little screen that pops up and it starts showing animatics of like Jedis doing fuck knows what.
I don't think I watched that.
I mean, that's fine. It's not worth revisiting. Especially because it's like, it's attempting to tell a tale of a Jedi, I think a single Jedi, but there's no real narrative, much like the show. And then the last screen of it, because it's essentially like a flip book. The last screen of it is the kids from the show staring off into the sunset, and then Skeleton Crew pops up over it. It's like,
fuck off.
Why?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm so glad this show's over. It's such a goddamned waste of time. And it only speaks to our own vacuum of a soul that we review this garbage on a regular goddamn basis.
Because it was originally, it was, let's watch the first episodes they released, which was 1 and 2, I think. And it's like, then we'll think about it. We'll talk about it, see if we are going to do this. And it's like, well, it might get better. And then you get in past the halfway point and you realize, I'm already fucking here. I mean, it's like you go to the bar, you're flirting with some chick, you get her home, you go to take her to Pound Town, and you realize her nutsack is smacking you as you're hitting it from behind. And it's like, you're already there. You might as well finish.
I don't think I've ever taken anyone to Pound Town. That sounds like painful.
That's a story from an old coworker of mine. He bragged about it all the time. It was pretty fucking awesome.
Good for him.
Yeah,
that's
like,
all I'm saying. I'm too old for that. I'm just like, Pound Town? How about I give you a vigorous walk? That's as good as it gets with me nowadays. I'll move my arms quickly, ball walking style.
Yeah.
All right, so this is called The Real Good Guys. It was directed by John Watts, written by Christopher Ford and John Watts, and it was released in January 14. This whole fucking episode was just nonsense. Jod is suddenly given this semblance of authority and power because droids are fucking stupid. They're like, "Whoa, you're clearly an emissary, so you must take us down to the speaker guy and let's talk with the guy in charge." And of course, it's a fucking robot. We figured that out last episode. A little fucking Wizard of Oz action there for those of you who have never seen, anything before the 2000s, zeros. And then they get there, and Jod's like, I am Sneaky McSneakerson, and I'm taking over this place.
That is that, if he would have twisted his mustache, would have been perfect.
He would have drawn the mustache in and then twisted the maiden.
I am the emissary and a Jedi.
The fucking robot's like, I knew you weren't a Jedi. I tricked you. And he's like, fuck off, and just shoves his dick in his face.
Yeah, it's like, that's not how you destroy droids.
It's just ridiculous.
It's how you destroy their vision.
Right.
Yeah.
His optical center was right at the front of his brain, like humans, so that's why it worked.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense in no canonical Star Wars sense ever. But yeah.
And so the mom is just like, what do we do? And the daughter's like, be a parent and kick him in the dick. And she's like, no. And then the boy's just like, oh, we must go save our friends. And the boy's dad's like, no, we must sit tight because that is what adults do. We believe in order and we don't upset the boat. Like, are we not Americans? Is this not our fucking... If we are not overtaking an existing culture, We're defending the rights of our own culture that aren't even being trampled on. Like, these are the two modes we've got.
Yeah.
Fighting the machine that doesn't give a fuck, or trampling someone else's rights.
Yeah.
Is what I've learned as an American.
100%.
So why aren't you standing the fuck up for yourself, you fucking weirdo star people?
Dude, I fucking hate that dad, man. He is probably the worst character in this series.
It's not even him. It's like all the parents, all of the adults in this show, including Jaw not for fuck off, is fucking ridiculous retarded. And I'm not talking about your fucking kids, all you people with retarded kids out there. Like, man, you can't say the R word because you'll hurt my kids. Your kids aren't watching this. You are. Fuck off. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Jaw fuck off and all the retarded adults in this goddamn show. That the writers seem to think this is what adults do? Have they never met adults or children or anyone?
I mean, that kind of just stands to reason because of the fact that they don't know how to write children, so obviously they don't know how to write adults.
It's just fucking so bizarre. Nothing makes sense at all.
Like, I'm sure people are going to think I'm stupid, but I swear to God, this had to have been AI. This feels
it could have been AI.
Like it was AI written.
It really does.
Like, this is just derivative and nonsensical with no payoff. Like, I think the writer's credits,
could be.
It was them going, oh, well, I typed this into ChatGPT and this is what it gave me. Like, I don't know if you've ever read anything like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. If you've read anything that was written by AI, it's
this
all the same. Yeah. And this is it.
I 100% believe that. I had someone reach out from a different channel. They're like, hey, I put all this information about this fantasy series that you're into ChatGPT. And it's like a podcast of two virtual people talking about the thing that you love. And listening to it, it is very much two non-human entities talking about, in a very awkward, unrealistic way, the thing that I like. And, I was just like, well, this is clearly fake bullshit, like unrealistic ridiculousness. And they're like, yeah, but I thought you would like it because it's a fantasy thing. Look, I'm not a fucking moron. I know I look like a fucking moron, but I'm not a fucking moron. You can't show me a turd and be like, this is gold.
Right.
I'll try it still. Clearly, because we've reviewed every episode of this turd. But I'm not going to believe you.
Yeah. It's like, as you're picking that kernel of corn out of your teeth, you're like, I fucking told you that shit wasn't gold. I fucking told you.
I'm the smart one here.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That was 100% like this experience. Just eating shit and being like, why has no one else realized that this is shit?
Right.
And why did I just eat shit? Like, what the fuck is going on with my life that this is where I'm ending up? When I was a kid, I was like, I'm going to be like a hero, a fireman, or like a spaceman. No, I'm reviewing garbage television from fucking Disney Star Wars. That is my future. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
How the Titans have fallen.
There was like a moment where I was playing with like some Legos and my mom was like, you're going to be an amazing architect, aren't you? And I was like, yes, Mommy, I will be an amazing architect. And this is what I've turned out.
And then Shauna came and picked him up. Or your wife, sorry.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's... Yeah. This more so, honestly, more than anything else we've reviewed, I have finished an episode and been like, why am I still going with this? Like, at least with whatever the fucking stupid cartoon one was. Resistance. At least with that, it was a cartoon and a clearly a wee child show, so it was acceptable that it was dumb.
But it had more redeeming qualities.
Yeah, it actually had writing and characters that we believed.
Before AI.
Yeah.
Before the era of darkness that we have fallen into.
Yeah.
But like, no one cares. No one knows. Everyone's just like, yay, Skull. Isn't it amazing? Wow. Clearly, you've never seen E.T. Clearly, you've never seen Explorers or Goonies or anything before like the aught zeros, because if you had, you would realize that this is not good. This is terrible writing, and we fucking deserve better. Like, I
Yeah.
get we're in a universe where no one, we are in an oligarchy, sort of American state where unless you are the trillionaire, you have no voice, you do not matter, and you will just eat whatever is fed to you. I get that's the state of the American culture right now, and for the foreseeable 4 years into the future. I will accept that. But we don't have to enjoy it. We can choose to be discerning about what we like. We can actually like have thoughts and opinions. Like, we've literally had people watch our reviews and say, shut up and just enjoy it. Is that how you live your life, you worthless fuckhead?
I really think so.
It shocks me that people are just like, yeah, just shut up and enjoy it. Stop thinking. We've literally fallen into the Wall-E universe where we're all just sitting on our fucking asses on a floating couch, sipping our Slurpees, waiting for the light to change color so we all just hit a button and digitally change the color of our clothes because that is the extent of our free will. Fuck
See,
me.
I feel like you're giving the public too much credit. Because Wall-E,
Too much credit.
it's magical from my understanding. I've never seen
beautiful.
it.
You've never seen Wall-E?
It's one of those ones
I've
that
cried to Wall-E
Jana
so
went and
many
saw it in
times.
theaters without me, so I just never got around to
love
it. And she always tells me, "You're gonna cry," and it's like I don't want to cry.
I want to cry with you. I want to hold your hand while you watch that film.
Okay, then that will make this shit happen. But yeah, like that's giving it too much credit because again, that's Pixar. That's beautiful. That is perfection.
Good storytelling.
Their worst movies are a billion times better than this.
Yeah.
This is much more like Idiocracy if Idiocracy was not fun.
Yeah.
Like I just imagine that these people that love this show so much are the future Walmart greeters of "Welcome to Walmart.
100%.
I love you." Like
100%.
I don't know. It's just so fucking frustrating. Because like just because this is what we're being forced to watch doesn't mean we have to enjoy it. Like that's what media has pretty much always been. It's always been the opiate for the masses, and this is coming from somebody that's fucking obsessed with movies and shit. Like I don't give a fuck. Give me that fucking opium. I'm a junkie. But like this has always been what is supposed to keep us subdued, keep us happy, and let the powers that be, get more and more power and control us more and more. That's cool. I'm fine with that. Like, I understand my place in the pecking order. That's fine. But I want something good to keep me in line versus this shit that's like, it's like having the mindset of, oh, well, I'm getting raped right now brutally. But you know what? At least it's sex. I'm not of that mindset.
But at least it's sex.
That's honestly... That's what I keep thinking. That's how I envision these people. Because I'm on the social medias as we were talking about offline earlier.
Social medias.
Like everybody I know that's filleting this, it's literally just like, oh, it's just like the Goonies. It's just like this, and it's like, yeah, but no, that was good. That was new. That was something that we hadn't seen. This is, you type in Goonies meets Star Wars into some fucking AI thing and it shits this out.
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
So while John fuck off is like threatening the mom and her child, Wim and his wimpy ass fucking paps are like stealing hover bikes and they're recreating the E.T. jump over the fucking cliff scene. Which, again, it's just so derivative. And it just reminds me of the better version of that scene. It doesn't make me think, that's so wonderful. It makes me think, wow, you have no fucking originality at all. Well, and plus, it's in purpose. Like,
yeah. Well, it's like they're missing the point of what made that magical.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just like, oh, well, clearly people like this scene, so let's just recreate that scene. It's like, but that scene doesn't mean anything unless you get the hour or so leading up to that.
No, that is such a great fucking point, because like that scene was, I'm stealing my alien best friend to save his life from the US government that is trying to test him and literally fucking kill him so that he can go back home. Cut to asshats on fucking hover bikes jumping over a fucking cliff to run over and try to stop the bad guy, Jar Jar Fuckhead, who won't actually hurt anyone except for a robot. So there's no real threat to anyone. Like, one has genuine fucking stakes and the other is a derivative ripoff. It's like the difference between like cereal as kids. You had like the brand cereal, and then you had like the way deep off-brand dollar store version of that cereal.
Yeah.
It's not as good, and not because it doesn't have the same ingredients, because it has like plutonium in it. It's like so fucking bad for you that it will literally, it has like DEET in it. It has a frosting coating, and you're just like, I love DEET. Nah. That's what you're fucking consuming, people. You're consuming DEET. You're so dumb you don't even realize it.
Right.
Fucking idiots.
Depleted plutonium and DEET.
Every beautiful scene that the showrunners say that they're ripping off, they're not even trying to hide it, that they're ripping off, is emotionally involved. And the one that they're ripping off and presenting is hollow as fuck and plastic. That's it.
Yeah. Like, I believe, every time I watch E.T., I believe in that giant lump of latex that looks like a shriveled up ball sack. I believe that every time. Buy into it, cry every goddamn time I watch that movie. I can't even tell you how many times I watched that movie.
Drew Barrymore and Henry Thomas, they're the best.
You heard the story about how she interviewed with Spielberg for that, right?
No.
Yeah, so he asked her if she had any experience and all that stuff. Just, making polite talk with her and mom. And her her job before this, before E.T., was she was like, oh yeah, I'm a drummer in a punk rock band. And it's like, that's fucking hilarious. Has nothing to do with this, but it's better story than
like
this.
A child.
Yeah, she was like
I'm
4.
a drummer in a punk rock band.
Yeah.
All right, I believe that. All
yeah,
right.
I believe it more than I believe this shit.
That makes me like her more, actually. That's the dopest fucking thing you could say
Right.
in the 70s. I'm a fucking kid. I'm a drummer. Yeah, all right. That was like every 80s show. It was like kids pretending to be so much better than they were. There's like a show named The Legend of Billie Jean.
Yeah.
It's the best ass fucking like music video rock and roller 80s fucking film ever about just like rebellion and ridiculousness. I love that so much. And it's so much better than this. Garbage. Yeah. Hot, stinky diaper garbage. Ugh. So they eventually get to the droid villa. I don't even know if the pirates are attacking everyone, but no one's in danger. And then they reach out to the fucking one episode reference of the owl. And they're like, oh, great owl. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? And it was like, that 1, that 2, that X-Wing's on the way. And that was it. And so safety, everyone's okay. They're like, just drop the shields. How are we going to drop the shields? I have to reach a lever, but I can't reach a lever because the Jar Jar fuckhead is like stopping me. It's all of it's so bad. Mom, just help. And she's like, fine, I'll do it. And
but I can't. It'll change my way of life.
It's so stupid.
It's like you guys are trapped on a planet.
God damn it. Like your daughter is going to be cut with a lightsaber. She's going to die and you don't want to pull a lever? You don't want to pull a lever. Really?
I mean, she probably doesn't want her kid.
I mean, fuck that kid, to be fair. But that's the parents' problem because she raised her. So she clearly didn't do a good job. All the kids in this suck. All the adults in this suck. All the bad guys in this suck. There's zero redeeming factors for any of this, and they're riding on the fact of nostalgia of adults. This is why no one watches Star Wars anymore. You're the fucking reason, Disney. You are the fucking reason you have tanked this $1 billion fucking IP. And
Right.
all you had to do was follow the goddamn original script of don't talk down to the audience. That's all you had to do. And you couldn't fucking do it. You couldn't help yourself.
Right. And I don't understand. Like, it's not that hard to make something for kids, but not think that they're just all fucking glue eating idiots.
They're 100% paste eaters. 100%.
God damn it, Chris! Don't even mention that word of season 2. It better. There's no
universe.
Even a purpose to this.
There's no universe.
Like, there's.
It can't.
It's so I mean, it could. They could easily, like, oh, now John's reformed after getting his hand slapped.
We did see that very end where he was like, they got away. Like his smile.
Oh my fuck! It's just like I hate this dude. Like, this character sucks so much more than anybody else. Like, the whole time, I'll kill anybody to get to my way. I don't want to hurt anybody. It's like, make up your fucking mind. Pick a lane and stay in it. Are you a dreaded pirate come to like steal the booty of the old republic and then go back to the spa planet, or are you a fucking weak ass person that's like, I don't want to hurt kids even though I've been hurting them for fucking 8 episodes?
I've been psychologically damaging them, but I want to physically hurt them.
God damn.
It's like every parent ever. I have no problem psychologically fucking these humans up for the rest of their lives, but I don't want to raise a hand to them. I'm not a monster.
Right.
No, first of all, I don't even think it got better reviews than The Acolyte. I think it just wasn't watched. Like, there's zero interest in this show. The only people that like this show are whores.
Disney adults.
Disgusting Disney whores. That's it. The people who don't like this show are either too intelligent to even bother watching it, or too intelligent to watch it and eat the turd that is delivered to them. Like, those are your 2 options, and that's it. There's literally no other option. You're either a fuck ass or a dumbass. I fall into the dumbass line because I fucking watched it and I'm reviewing it.
Well, I don't know. I feel like we would fall more into the line of fuck ass because we're smart enough to understand this is bad. Dumbass
There's a difference there, but okay, I'll take it.
Well, because dumb is in the word.
Right. But we're choosing to do this.
That is true.
With awareness.
As I'm saying that, I'm realizing, yes, we are the dumbasses.
By declaring yourself a fuck ass, you're proving yourself to be a dumbass.
That is very, very true. I take back that comment.
It hurts me because it seems like the easiest thing in the universe to write a good Star Wars show. Like, it seems on its face so simple. All you've got to do is tell the hero's story. That's it. Don't bring politics into it. Don't bring your own sensibilities about social experimentation or gender equality or any modern anything. Just the tale as old as time, hero's journey. That's all you have to do. And if you stick to that literally timeless fucking story, you will tell an amazing Star Wars movie, and every fucking loser, incel, cunt, every fucking fascist, Zionific, I'm just saying words at this point, ridiculous asshole that just loves everything that Disney spews out, every questionable punk-ass prick that likes to complain about anything on the internet, every one of them would be lockstep Hitler-esque in line if you just followed the original.
The thing that I don't understand is it's like they'll go out of their way to rip off so many other properties to make Star Wars
and champion it
versus going to Star Wars and rewriting one of those stories. Like, that is the most asinine thing. Like, I mean, it's been done. I mean, like, look at the end of Ahsoka, or I guess just Ahsoka in general. You know, we had Thrawn return, we had Death Troopers, like, we had elements of
that should have been amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely in comparison, it's way better than this. But Like, why not stick with the source material? I mean, yes, you guys decided, okay, we've got, we're going to bring a team together to, make a through line of the extended universe, and we'll bring that into Disney. And then you give up after a couple months. Fuck it, we're doing our own thing. That's years ago, like almost a decade at this point. Eat your words. Just go back, grab any random fucking Star Wars book that's not canonical now, and just make that new. Yeah. Like, why is that so fucking hard? I mean, that's why Marvel did so well to begin with, was because originally they were ripping off the stories from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Yeah. I just
that made the comics great. Yeah. They were just retelling.
Yeah. I just don't understand why it's so fucking difficult. And, to piggyback on what you're saying earlier about, social standings and all that stuff, the thing is, that's what George did with 6 fucking movies. Now, the prequels, that was a little bit more on the nose. But the whole, like, oh, well, we're going to make this about, women being in power. What about the first fucking movie that was filmed in 1976 and released in 1977? That is one of the most powerful female-led movies of our, current generation of the past 50 fucking years. And it wasn't on the nose. It was just a well-written character. Yeah. In a universe that it made sense to have that character.
Yeah, so much so that people seem to forget that that's what it actually was.
Yeah.
Like there was no female empowerment in Star Wars. And we're like, wait, what?
First fucking movie.
Wait, what? Princess Leia, motherfucker?
Yeah, that's so frustrating. And then the whole, like, black characters.
Yeah.
Darth fucking Vader.
I'm just thinking about that Mallrats scene.
Yeah, no, that's...
And you peel off his face, and he's a old white man. They're saying we all wants to be white. Black rage. Black. So good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Chris, we're going to get to that next.
You're halfway through it? Yeah. I mean, eventually.
Yeah. It's going to take a minute, but
it's in the mail.
It's at some point.
Like, I feel like we could just review it because we know this story, but I'd like to, like, revisit it freshly.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've reread the entire trilogy. I remember it vaguely, but yeah.
Yeah, we're coming to it, man. Good stories are coming. There are still good stories out there. And this is the thing that I really want anyone who might be tuning into this, like, in the corner of the galaxy podcast that we've been doing for way too long to have way too small of an audience, to know that we are not just shitting on Star Wars. Like, we love Star Wars, and we are talking about some amazing Star Wars stories. They're just interspersed between these really garbage reviews. Yeah, so at any point, you can go back and look in our archives, and we have dozens of, like, novel reviews and game reviews and really great film reviews of Star Wars and what we love about films that we hate. And I mean, like, there's all sorts of stuff in here that is really celebrating Star Wars. The only time that we talk shit about it is when it's really fucking bad. That's it. And so that just goes to show that this is really not good. And we really do love this IP. And we know it can do better because we have the stories that are better. They exist. It's not like this manufactured fever dream we had when we were sick. Like, it's a real thing. And there's comics and novels and video games. It's all out there. Role-playing games of it. Like, it exists. They just choose to ignore it for some insane reason.
Yeah, that's really what it all comes back to. I can't remember. I can't figure out why it's so hard for them to just steal their own shit. You bought it. You bought it. Just use it.
So stupid. But they won't do it because they feel like it's not theirs. And then when they do their own version, all they're doing is ripping off what already exists that they said that they don't want to rip off.
Well, and that's the hard part about having non-creatives in a creative's role, because essentially all these are made by executives. And that is like the executive MO of, they have a short lifespan. Most executives for film companies and stuff like that, they usually only stay within that position A couple of years, like anywhere between like 1 to 4 years is their usual lifespan at a company before they're fired, let go, whatever, and go on to the next one and then ruin something else. So
They're consistent.
Their first thing is when they go in, they wipe the board clean of anything that was under a previous executive's banner.
Yeah.
Like it could be the next actual fucking Star Wars. Like it could be the next New Hope. And because it's not their name on it, nope, that's gone. And that's essentially what this is. Like it's all like, okay, I'm the new exec in charge. These are my priorities. This is my high horse to stand on. So my feelings, the points that are important to me, that's what we're going to force down the throats of people, but put a lightsaber and a Jedi robe on it. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all felt like since like just after the Book of Boba Fett. Like Book of Boba Fett was still kind of right there, but it was, it was stupid, but we all got exactly what we hoped for when we saw the announcement where we had the animatic of Boba Fett riding a Rancor. We got that. So, whatever. We can't bitch too much about that. It sucked, but we got what we wanted. But everything since then, it's been like so overtly on the nose of like, these are the social issues that I'm bringing up and that are important to me. So you guys are going to have to enjoy it. Otherwise, you're a bigot.
Yeah. And I don't think it would be as bad as if they just like put it out there and left it alone. But then they literally have to call you out. Mm-hmm. And if you don't like it, oh, you're clearly a racist. You're clearly a sexist. You're clearly a bigot. If you don't like what we're feeding you, like, no, we just don't like poo. Like, it's literally that.
That's what it comes down to. We don't want to eat the shit. I
choose not to eat poo. Adam, is this close to working in a Scrooge speech for the future? I fucking wish I was that cool. That would be the greatest if I could ever be anywhere close in proximity to Bill Murray.
That was ad-libbed.
It was beautiful.
Like, that's the magic of that man. Like, that was not scripted at all. That just happened. Oh.
He's a goddamn hero. He's a hero among men.
Absolutely.
God damn it. Oh, man. I don't think I've ever seen anything he has done and been like, that's garbage. Like, I've seen stuff that I'm like, but not like it's garbage. Not like it's Skeleton Crew.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, that's about what I got to say. Like, I guess, okay. So I do want to go over a couple of my things. We've already kind of talked about it, but one, fuck the TV dinners. Oh, nice home cooked meal. That was a terrible joke. Fuck you. Fuck me. Fuck everybody. Let's see. I think I got everything else. Fuck Urkel.
Fuck Urkel.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say is fuck Urkel. Oh, don't abandon ship. You gotta go down with the ship. No, you guys are dying. Get the fuck out of there.
Choose life.
Because guess what?
Cheese, Urkel.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I learned with this episode is apparently heavy repeating blasters on pirate ships are trees are impervious to their power. So I thought that was. I thought that was good to know.
It's tough oak. And
then my biggest bitch fit, other than this show sucks, is how are you going to make this the shortest fucking episode of the season? Like this ran at like I timed it. I timed well, it was, but it's also like why not just make put the last two episodes together and make a longer episode, and it makes it seem a little bit more something. Yeah. But 34 minutes from the time the opening credits are over until the end of the little, flip book thing. So counting the flip book thing and like the mid little, like, here's the title of the show break, it was like, I think just right at 30 minutes total.
Wow.
And it's like, this is a finale, and supposedly a series finale. What the fuck? Again, just like you said, I'm grateful because I didn't want to sit through any more of this than I had to, but what the fuck?
Yeah, it went out with as much of a whimper as it fucking premiered with.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just so desperately glad that it's over, and we have a couple months before something that is probably going to be so far superior that I cannot wait.
I really hope so. I'm honestly so fucking scared at this point that it's gotta
be good. Like, he's been literally cut off from Disney, in Lucasfilm. He's just doing his own thing. So it can't. Oh, fuck, I say that, but now I might keep doing it. It
Yeah, don't jinx it.
can't be as bad as this. It's impossible to think that it could possibly be with what we got with the first season and all the storytelling and all the fucking shit ass eaters of Disney that just like hated it for some insane reason.
I don't understand.
Let's keep that going. Let's keep them hating it and just do exactly what you did the first time, because it was emotionally resonant. It was powerful. It was suspenseful. It was adult. It was exciting. Like, I am here for that shit. I just hate the idea that you have to tell a kid's story or an adult story, because Star Wars was always an amalgamation. Like, adults enjoyed it because it reminded them of being young, and you're watching youthful actors doing some really incredible adventure stuff, but it was also an exciting sci-fi fantasy, adventure. Children loved it because it told a goddamn story that they could identify with as kids, and then learn, the sort of narrative tales that we always tell kids about, how to be a better human being and stuff.
Yeah.
So it spoke to everyone. You can find that exact same thing in Andor. You have to look a little bit deeper because it is much more adult, but kids can watch it and live through Andor's experience and realize that, wow, this galaxy's fucked up, but I can actually make a difference in a fucked up world. And that's a message that I want the youth to fucking have, because if they had it, we wouldn't have the fucking Cheeto-faced asshat being sworn in tomorrow. Like, if they voted and took a stock in their universe, we wouldn't have this shit. But it's only old fucks and disillusioned fucks that vote and participate in the democracy that we have. The oligarchy we have.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because we are feeding into the same problems that we all universally recognize that are the problem. And we're not doing anything about it. And if there's any medium to tell that story in a, like, accessible way and not like super heavy-handed bullshit way, like, this is it, and you're not doing it. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Are the creatives just not wanting to tell good stories? Are they have to, like, they have to be thinking, no, this is a great story that I want to tell, but why? What's the purpose of it? There used to be a reason for it. George Lucas was literally trying to tell a fable to kids about how to be a better person.
Yeah.
What are you doing, you fucking shit-ass writers, on this goddamn worthless show? How are these kids better because of the trials and tribulations they went to? They always relied on other sentient beings, whether they be bullshit fantasy Jar Jar fuckheads or fucking the Tootsie Roll Pop owl. Like, that's it. They just relied on other people. Their parents let them down, which is way too real. And their universe let them down, which is way too real. Something has to be good about it. And there's nothing.
Right. At the very least, like, you should have empowered the children. Like, the kids had no power. They were always, like, subservient to some sort of adult entity. And it's like that misses the whole point. Like, that's why Goonies was so powerful, was it was kids overcoming things while still being children. Like, oh my God, it's this show's so frustrating, like, on a whole other level. So I mean, even The Acolyte, like, I hated The Acolyte, but that was at least Star Wars-ish. That was Star Wars adjacent.
It had elements for sure.
This had a lightsaber.
I mean, to be fair, this had some elements of Star Wars. Like, I did like watching, like, Y-Wings kicking shit.
That was my other note. Was stuff. Like, that's the thing. That's how they sucker people like you and me in. Is they give us that stuff because the second that's on screen, that's the most exciting thing ever.
Yeah. This makes no sense. Starships, yes.
Yeah, like, that's fantastic until they add the story, and then it's like, oh yeah, I forgot.
It's like when I'm done with sex.
Yeah, it's like, sex is great. And then your wife's like, wait, are you done? It's like, oh, yeah, sorry.
It's just disappointment, like, floods the room. We'll try it again in a week, honey. I'll do better.
God damn. Fucking brag much? Holy shit.
Hugh Hefner over here.
Yeah, clearly.
I don't know. The barrier bothered the fuck out of me still. I can't get past it. It really made no literal like physics universe sense.
Well, plus like the whole idea of, oh no, if you pull this switch, it permanently is off. No, you're just turning it off. You could lift the switch back up, and guess what? Those things go.
Yeah. Most switches are on and off. They're just not just like, we're gonna build this to just be a one way. Like that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Weird.
It didn't make any goddamn sense.
We never found the hidden tiny star that was hiding in the barrier. That's certainly what I'm talking about now. There's a lot about this that really desperately bothered me. There was tiny, tiny moments where I was like, oh, this is a nice adventure, which just leads me to believe either I'm clearly way too old for this, so that I'm being way too articulate and like expecting way too much, or I should just stop reviewing this shit because I'm clearly missing something because I'm a dumbass.
So
like one of those two.
I'm going to put it on the show so that we're beholden to what we're saying versus us doing what we've done every fucking time of like, well, we'll watch an episode, see how it is, and we'll go from there. I'm saying right now, I can't do this shit again. Like, all joking aside, this was a drain on my very limited spare time.
Yeah.
This is basically me giving up an entire book of time.
That's a great way of putting it.
If the next show sucks, we do one episode and then that's it. So
right.
if we start something and you guys never see, oh, why aren't there more episodes? Well, it's because it's garbage and we just can't bring ourselves to do it anymore.
Yeah. We've been hurt too much.
It just
wounded
too goddamn much. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm done with that. I mean, next up, I really don't think we're going to be disappointed. Fingers crossed that we won't.
I'm really hoping for the season 1 to season 2 of The Mandalorian, not season 2 to season 3 of The Mandalorian. Keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah. But we do have a season 4 of Mandalorian coming, so that's something to not look forward to. And a season 2 of Ahsoka coming that we shouldn't look forward to. And a season of Obi-Wan, season 2 of Obi-Wan coming that we
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Dude.
Like, I liked it for the most part, but that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
There were scenes in it that I really loved. Like, I really loved. And there were scenes that I was like, what the fuck? Like, the whole Reva story arc. I was just like, why?
Yeah, that's a story that doesn't need to be told.
Let's put it in an Obi-Wan centered. It's called Obi-Wan, not Reva. Why are you dividing our time? Just tell the Obi-Wan story, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming, but then it could be like the films where they just announce shit and then it just falls through. So who the fuck knows?
Right. Just like how The Mandalorian was going to end with a movie.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about a season. And it's like, okay, but what is it? Like, are we still going to get the movie? And then there's a season afterwards. And at that point, it's like, is it going to be like The Simpsons where the movie was supposed to be the big finale and then they kept going and it just like gets worse and worse?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. All I know is when it comes to Star Wars, I will perpetually have hope for the future and just brace myself for the utter failures that we've received.
Yeah.
And the pain. Because that just seems to be our life. Like, we're just like, no, it can't get worse, can it? And they just keep getting worse.
You know what? And I'll give them that much. Like, they far surpass my expectations.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Shockingly.
Yeah, like, it can't get worse. And then it gets far, far worse. Just kind of like real life.
Way too much like real life. Like, we already have to deal with real life. Can we just like have a good thing?
Right.
Just give us a good thing, Disney, for fuck's sake. All right. Did you have a favorite part of this show, this episode?
Turning it off and knowing I'll never watch this again.
See, I like the Star Wars fights. I like seeing spaceships and shit. Like, that was fun for me.
See, I wanted to like that, but there wasn't much of it. Like,
it was very limited.
Getting to see the pirate ship come into the atmosphere, yeah, that was cool. Going through the barrier, that was pointless. That was cool. But then the actors go on screen and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot this shit sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I was just thinking like the I keep saying Y-wing, but I'm actually talking
No,
about
those
B-wing.
yeah, those are B
With the
wings.
3 beams that we only saw in Rebels. That wasn't like a film thing ever before. Like do like the 3 going to 1 beam and then like blasting the ship. I was just like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't shoot realistic as far as space fantasy goes anyway. But I was just like, oh, that's fun. Like I had one of those toys when I was a kid, so I'm always sort of connected with the spinny cockpit of the fucking B-wing and stuff.
hmm
Doesn't make sense that it's a B-wing. It should be like a T-wing because that's the fucking shape it's in. But whatever.
right.
I even had a Y-wing too because I was that big of a nerd. Y-wings are awesome.
Fuck yeah.
X-wings, I was always jealous because I never had one, but a friend down the street did. Never let me play with it.
Fuck
Fucker.
that kid.
I'm gonna punch him in his stupid face. But I was a kid, so I didn't do that. In any case, I like spaceships. I feel like the nerd on like national TV. I like turtles.
Hell yeah.
And that's it. That's me. So you show me a spaceship, I'm gonna smile. Everything else, literally everything else, was just me like stupid face. This face, just like going, what? Why? No, do this. Why aren't you doing what I just said? This makes no fucking sense. You're an adult. Act like a fucking just me screaming at the TV for no reason.
Yeah, the second viewing, my wife was smart and she was out of the house. So
She's like, I'm
she
shopping.
got back at the end, and pretty much the entire runtime, I'm just like. So that's the face that she came home to, was me just looking at the screen like.
And that's who I married.
And she's like, "What? What are you watching?" It's like, "Oh, Star Wars." She's like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
Aw, that's so sad. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Can I offer a counterpoint? No, you love these reviews either way. This is the way I sucked at what?
This is why I sucked at speech and
Oh.
debate.
Thought you were like
that's
coming
cool.
on to Cameron for a minute. I was like, I'll watch that rather than Skeleton Crew.
Like it's bound to happen.
That's how hard up it is. Oh, watch Chris go down on Cameron. All right. Man camp.
Far more entertaining. Yeah, Chris. That's you ever come out to man camp? That's how we initiate them.
You're in the barrel. All right. I feel like that's a joke from the 80s that no one outside of the 80s understands or gets, but if you're in it
okay.
and you lived it, you definitely got it. All right, yeah, least favorite.
The ending, very anticlimactic,
Wildly.
and there was like, what the fuck about Jod? Like,
yeah,
he lost everything, and now he's just like, oh shucks, I'm glad the kids got away.
They did it, those scamps.
Dude, like that was like the pirates did what pirates do. So their arc made sense. The poorly written kids that have 2 brains collectively, they did what they did. That made sense. The parents are useless creatures, and it shows, and they did what they did. But Jod like had motivation, had some semblance of character, and none of it paid off in the end.
Yeah.
Like, just the thing that keeps going back to is one sentence, I will kill anyone that steps in my way. And then, like, pretty much the next sentence after that is, but I don't want to hurt anybody. I just, fuck this show.
Yeah. Yeah. My least favorite part about this show is the show.
Yeah.
Like, it just shouldn't have existed. And they should have not relied so heavily on nostalgia, because it just proves that you're inferior to that nostalgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still stand by, if this was a movie, I feel like I wouldn't be bitching as much.
Yeah.
A tight, feature length, so 90-minute movie, this would have been bearable.
Yeah. Yeah, I would never have watched it twice.
Nope.
But I would have watched it once and been like, okay, that was a thing.
I would have been like, at least I had popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely would have been a bonus. All right. Well, anything else for the show?
No. we definitely have this episode or this series covered.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in to these glowing reviews of the Skeleton Review. Skeleton Crew review.
Skeleton.
Both live in chat or after the fact. We invite you to subscribe to this channel and click the bell to get notified about our next video, which is probably not going to be as negative. Probably. We are dealing with Disney after all. You can now support this channel through YouTube memberships, starting at 99 cents a month, the same amount that you could save a child in Africa, but fuck them.
They're
we
not as
need your
entertaining.
Skrilla. We have bills to pay, and your 99 cents does it.
Hell yeah, eventually.
2025. After we get 100 of those 99 cents, and Google doesn't decide to demonetize us because we say words like fuck off.
Mhm.
And then I contest every time, and they say, no, your review is okay. But it's already too late because no one's fucking watching a month-long review that's already happened a month ago.
Right.
So thanks, YouTube, you ass. Fuck.
Stupid robots.
And they're going to block this episode, and I'm going to challenge it, and they're going to say, no, this is okay. And it's not going to matter then. So that's why we need your membership, so that we can eat cheese and bologna.
Hell yeah.
We
Like the
need it.
kings we are.
I just want a pimento loaf. Can I have
Fuck. Oh my god, I
pimento?
love pimento.
Pinto?
loaf.
I don't know. what it is.
Pimento, yeah.
You throw olive and meat, and I'll eat it. All right.
Fuck yeah.
I'm trying to find my script here where I am. Consider picking up some of our custom designed apparel, because we are scruffy looking Nerf Herders.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you wouldn't know it by looking at us, but you haven't seen our undercarriage.
Very scruffy.
It's super scruffy looking. Until the Infernal Brotherhood, I'm literally trying to read as I'm talking. Until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, my fellow scruffy looking Nerf Herders. Undercarriage only. May the force be with you.
Son, you're talking to a level 7 systems coordinator. Get on the bike.
I want to beat that dead. So
I
badly.
just
I hate it so much.
fuck him.
Homemade meal.
Yeah, like, dude, come on, man. It's a Swanson's. Like, it's cool.
It's a hungry man at his best.